I don't know why I'm nervous to get this reading started. I feel like somebody who needs to see this reading today has just wandered onto the tarot divination side of YouTube, almost maybe accidentally or maybe like kind of on purpose, but like just with like a tentative feeling. So I feel like the people in this group who need to hear this collective reading. So it's going to be a general reading, and not all of it's going to apply to you, but like if enough of it does, it'll ring true to you. Okay, let me just describe who you are, and if this sounds like you, then you know you're in the right place. Okay, you are someone who has likely been dealing with insomnia or like restlessness, either like at night or in the morning. It's like you can't fall asleep or can't stay asleep. There's just like dysregulation right now in your body in general. Or you just may have like currently have a disrupted sleep schedule. You may be seeing angel numbers like 333, 505. Like 7 might be important, or 77, 10, 10, 22, 5, 4, 3, 11, 11, 11, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 12, 12. Okay. Then you also, someone's definitely been drinking their water. So kudos for that. Someone wears glasses. You might be a Spanish speaker, or also like I feel like someone is like a musician or could like deal in art or like antiques or like antique books. Um, Also, maybe like furniture. You might like make furniture. It feels like somebody has at some point, even if it's not currently right now, somebody has actually found success in business. You might be sober, especially from alcohol. Um, I, this also feels like a group that where there might be like a mother or a brother who has passed on. It feels like someone who was very, very close to you in life. And it also feels like you feel that this person I'm also hearing like grandfather. Grandmother could be important too, but it feels like somebody, not only who you were close to, but you feel some sense of guilt over maybe like things that happened after they passed away or something like that. But it also feels like your whole life has been fated. Like it's all been something. It's all been like destiny. Like you've been led to this place by accident and that place and met that person by accident, and these things like led you to like grew you into the person that you're becoming, that you are right now. And so none of that feels accidental to you, and it feels like perhaps these people, like this person who has passed on, has had a hand in that. um, so maybe that's why somebody who's apprehensive about like claiming spirituality or claiming their experiences with spirituality might be in this reading, because it doesn't feel like something that maybe you would have explored if didn't have um, you didn't have like you didn't have like a loved one that you felt like you were very, very strongly connected to. Like that, it feels like the signs are so in your face. Maybe you have seen like a lot of like birds that are signs to you. Horses could be signs. And especially if you're seeing these signs around sunset, it feels like that's when you communicate with this loved one, or when they try to communicate with you. Um, okay. It also feels like you've had maybe an accident, a head injury, or memory loss, or like loss of cognitive function, that has like maybe changed something in your life. which may be also why you're here thinking about the next step. It feels very much like somebody kind of wants to give up and like the universe just will not allow it. And that you do actually feel as though you have a purpose. Um, you carry around a lot of guilt. You carry around a lot of guilt. And honestly, it's guilt for things that it feels like it's like just life. It's not necessarily things that are actually your fault or things that you could have altered, but you do carry a lot of guilt for that. And the universe has been conspiring to teach you to release that guilt, because not every bad thing that happens is your fault, and not every bad thing that happens actually results, like some bad things that happen actually result in good things. So like even sometimes like the universe will allow like something to fall away in your life. It might feel like a death to you. It might feel like something so painful, but the by allowing that thing to fall away, you now you now have the ability to pursue a different path that actually makes you happy. And I feel like you've been living a life where you're maybe not happy, but you kind of just feel like that's just what life is. And so you haven't been moving beyond that. But it feels like your loved ones beyond are conspiring because they see that you need to actually be like living a life that is happy for you, and they see a path for you to live a life that's happy for you. So it feels like there's like something going on behind the scenes to help you come into a path that actually makes you happy. And I think that that's scary for you. For some of you, this might be like going back to school. It might be actually trying to cure an illness. It might be something to do with like healing a family trauma, actually, which makes a lot of sense for this. But it feels like somebody who actually they feel guilty about something that they did to you is trying to make up for like the way that for like what they, not only what they did to you, but it feels like what they taught you about life. Okay, so let's get into the reading here. Spirit, what is coming for this person, for the collective? We have Five of Cups in reverse with ecstasy. Ooh. And Page of Cups also, Otter. I love this, like a very playful energy for you. It's interesting that they're in the reverse. Let's see what's at the bottom. King of Arrows, so that's King of Swords, Kingfisher. It feels to me like there was someone in your life who was very, very careless with the way that they spoke to you. And anytime that you would express, I want to say like silliness, it was like maybe like when you were a child, they were very serious, or they were very stressed out about very adult things. And so anytime that you said anything that was remotely like childish, as a child, they were really coming down on you. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse with the hair energy. Okay, so it seems like what you want is a more creative life. Um, like the ability, if you're a musician, you want the ability to actually focus on your music. If you're an artist, you want the ability to focus on your art. It feels like you've been really betrayed by someone. Like this could have to do with even a relationship, like a romantic relationship, something that was or is like an engagement. Feels like maybe, it feels like the energy of like a cheater or somebody who's wanting you to go along with a life that doesn't align with what you actually want. Interesting. We had the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Cups in reverse. This is very single energy at the bottom of the deck. Very single energy. And I think that you're afraid of this single energy. You're afraid of going it alone. Maybe you felt like you've had to go it alone. Even when you were in a family system, you still felt like you were, some of you actually might have been adopted or like in a foster family, staying with other like relatives that weren't your family of origin. Basically, like some of you were in that situation. It may not have been for your entire childhood. It may have been like a temporary situation. But it doesn't feel like a very stable home life, like a very secure home life where you could count on like knowing where you were going to be in a month or a year or whatever. So it feels like you've had to go at this alone for a really long time. Spirit, can you please clarify the Five of Cups and the Page of Cups? Yeah, there's been something that's been keeping you awake at night. It's like a past trauma. It feels like actually like you've recently run into an old friend or someone from like your past confessed something, like someone confessed something about your past that maybe you didn't know. It feels like a huge betrayal. It feels like a huge betrayal. And it feels like that confession, that betrayal, actually took you right back to your childhood, right back to a very, very, it feels like um, a very traumatic experience. And this actually, interestingly enough, has something to do with the King of Pentacles. Okay, this has been affecting. This is the thing that actually I think made you pour all your energy into work. I'm seeing Taurus energy, Capricorn energy. So you might have that in your like sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. If you don't know all that, that's fine. It feels like you actually poured all of that energy into creating financial stability for yourself. But that right now you're kind of in a pivotal moment for your, like in your life where you're realizing that you want more emotional fulfillment. Please clarify the Queen of Rose. Not only emotional, well, yeah, emotional fulfillment because it's like you want the Emperor in reverse. You don't want to have to work so hard. You don't want to have to be in charge of everything. Clarify the Nine of Bows. There's a situation in which you have not been following your intuition. We have the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, not following your intuition. You've been kind of like disconnected from any kind of spiritual or creative, or like you've been like you've been cutting yourself off in a way, or like closing yourself off from that, because like from the spiritual or creative energy or that path. And I think that's because that energy, that path, that atmosphere brings back the memories, right, of things that have happened in the past. Artists are sometimes tortured for a reason, because they are living in a realm of emotion, of spirituality. They're constantly channeling all this like emotion, all this like trauma, like pain makes for good art a lot of the time. And not to say that that's all it is, but it's just natural that kind of, and not to say that it's art specifically, but just like being in more of a spiritual creative realm for you, I think is scary. And so it seems like something that you've avoided. We have the Devil in reverse, and this is like you are the one who kept yourself trapped in that inability to pursue more of an artistic, I'm saying artistic, but like it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're a painter, you are a musician, or you are like somebody who deals in like dances, or like deals in those kinds of arts. But it could also be that you want to pursue like travel. You might want to be more nomadic. You might want to you might be more inspired to live more of a spiritual life, and to kind of leave this like material stability behind, because that there's just like something that feels a little bit more meaningful and more like your calling. But I'm seeing a lot of 9 energy in this reading. There's 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, 9 of Cups. Like the only one you're missing is the 9 of Pentacles. Um, and so like this feels very much like anxiety over making the right decision, or like moving on to a different kind of work, a different kind of, I'm going to say, life work. Okay? And you're the only one who can let that go. You're the only one who can overcome the fear, and like actually just take that leap. Okay? I think you're here because you know that you can't continue to live a life that is lackluster for you, a life that feels like it lacks meaning. When you feel like you are being called to something that brings you more fulfillment. Okay, I am seeing travel for some people. It's like it could be a plane, like by plane, or it could be just like a really long distance road trip. But it feels like a long term travel. So this could be something that you've been thinking about. It could be an option that's recently presented itself to you. It could be just like a vacation. So take it how it resonates for you. I'm seeing Amsterdam, Texas, Maine, New York City, California, Belgium, London. That's interesting. I didn't think of... Doesn't feel like Great Britain. It feels like London. Sweden, Miami, Nevada, Kansas. That's an interesting Interesting place to go. Okay. But yeah, some of you also just may be relocating. Um, you're here because you're thinking about a relocation. Again, unhappy in the place where you're at. Hmm. I told you about the birds, right? The bird signs. Um, Let me know if these are the birds that you've been seeing at all. But we have canary and peacock. Okay, number 12 and number 46. Number 12 is one for new beginnings and for creation, manifestation. Two is a relational number. So it could be a like relationship to another person, could be relationship to self, could be relationship to source, could be relationship to nature. It could be like anything. It could be it's a relational number. Um, like it's like healing in relationships. Um, Put them together. That's a number 3. So it feels like you are actually um, creating new ways of relating to yourself, to others, to the world around you. It feels actually really, really big and overwhelming to me. Um, so I imagine that if you're here, and you have been kind of like adverse to looking into more spiritual paths, and this feels like a little bit woo woo for you. um, it feels like you're actually manifesting new ways of relating, and that's in itself is overwhelming. Okay, the message that comes along with this is sing your own song. And that's in the protection mode. So I'm going to go ahead and read that one for you. It's interesting that it's talking about singing. So, and I mentioned a musician before. Music came through so heavily in this energy as I was connecting with it. So, that feels very, very significant to me. I'm seeing 2222 on the timer. Okay, so and this doesn't actually feel like a love reading to me. It feels, even though like it could have to do like healing your relationship could have to do with relationship to love and allowing love and things, romantic love into your life as well. It also just feels like in general you're going through an overhaul about like how you relate to other people and to the world around you. Okay. Then we've got peacock spirit, let it shine, also in the protection mode. With the 46 being 4 for stability, home life, family life. We've got 6 for harmony, victory. Is also these are also both like relational numbers, so it feels really significant to me that those keep coming up. Put them together. That's the number 10. 10 is like the perfect number. It's like abundance, the fulfillment of all your dreams, the realization of your gifts. It's 1 for new beginnings, creation, magic, really, and also like 0 is endless possibilities, which I really love. For some people, it's a little scary if you have been living with in more of that. If you've had more of a routine, a structure, like it's a little bit scary to just have the like anything can happen. But the beauty of it is that you also have the ability to create what you want from that. So we also have groundhog spirit, time to let go, number 31. I think that you're being very vulnerable. We have 3 for growth, expansion, enlightenment. 1, creation, new beginnings. Put them together, that's a 4, which, as we already know, is stability, happy home life. It's also another relational number. So you know that it's time to let go of this thing from your past. And you're ready to let go of it because you definitely want to live this life that is happier for you. You're just scared. That's all. You're just scared, and that's normal for anybody, everybody. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to read the Canary Spirit for you. I know the Peacock Spirit in reverse. So Groundhog Spirit is about being vulnerable and trusting in your vulnerability, trusting, like following your heart. It's about letting go of the things that aren't you, that are they're the voices of other people, and the traumas that have shaped you into the person who is like has been guarding their heart so closely. But we manifest from our heart space, so you're learning how to open it up to other people, to the world around you, and to yourself and what you want. And with the Peacock Spirit in protection, there's like you're learning how to show people your vulnerability. I think that you have hidden it from everybody, and at times even from yourself. And so you're in a moment where you're like figuring out who you can show that to, and and the Peacock Spirit, telling you to let it shine is really like encouraging you to know that you are a very special and unique person. Like when I was connecting with your energy at first, I was like, oh, sometimes I wonder if I'm like, just delusional putting these readings out and I'm just connecting with, energies that are exactly like mine. But this one was very different from mine. And so I could tell that it was like a different kind of person, and I really loved connecting with your energy because even though you are in a like you deal with a lot of self-doubt and a lot of guilt, you are such a talented, bright, caring individual. The reason that it seems like the reason you have so much guilt is because you care so much and you have so much empathy and you love so deeply. And that was a really beautiful thing that I connected to in your energy. And I want to thank you for letting me see that part of you. It really touched a deep part of me. And I really wanted to get this message out to you because it seemed like you really needed it. So let me read the protection message for Canary Spirit. Are you suppressing your true voice? Perhaps trying to sing the song you think people want to hear instead of your own? You create a cage around your life when you express only what you think will help you fit in and get what you think you want. Are you hiding the real you, telling a safe story about yourself to others because you are afraid they will think you are too different if they knew the truth? Canary Spirit comes to help you express yourself in a more honest and authentic way. Yes, not everyone will agree with you. In fact, not everyone will want to hear your originality or accept your uniqueness. You must not give this a single care. There will be plenty of people, opportunities, and wonderful new experiences that arrive as if by magic once you open your own cage door and fly free. Canary Spirit is cheering for you and wants you to know you are safe and loved. Find your voice and have courage to spread your wings and sing out loud. The world needs your true song. Yeah, there's definitely fear here about being cringy, which, trust me, I actually understand that. I think that every artist or everyone who like follows their own path, actually, they have to deal with other people disagreeing with them or criticizing them. I'm going to give you an example. At times I have been less inclined to be on social media, because the minute somebody disagrees with me, the first thing that they attack is my appearance, my weight, or whatever, and while I um, shouldn't really care about what a stranger thinks, and don't really care about what a stranger thinks, it still hurts when somebody does that. So I haven't wanted to open myself up to that kind of criticism, right? But the truth is that if I waited until I had lost the weight, I might not actually be here giving you this message that hopefully, I hope I'm helping you, that you might really need right now. And actually being able to share these messages with people has actually made me feel like I'm stepping into my purpose. And it doesn't necessarily mean this is all I'm going to do, but it just means like I am finding something that makes me feel alive, that makes me feel fulfilled. And so it feels like you are worried about a lot about what other people will say, how other people will receive you. Also, for some of you, I think that you're worried that it's like you're exploring a spiritual path and you've seen so many people actually like criticize people who are following a spiritual path, even if it's also other spiritual people. It's like there's someone who always has an opinion, and they're going to always have an opinion about what you do. And as long as you're following the path with respect and you're open to learning along that path, then let them have their opinion and you do what feels right to you. And yeah, it just feels like there's this actual, you're not going to get to a point where you're good enough for people not to criticize you. You could be the best artist, the best musician, the best dancer, the best writer, the best furniture maker. I don't know what the word for that is. The best fashion designer, the best, you name it. You could be the best at anything and people are still going to criticize you. I had a grandfather who was an eye doctor. He was a very good eye doctor. He cared about his patients. He would actually, like, a lot of times not even charge them for things because they needed help. And he was from like the old world, like a third world country. And so that's the way that they did things there. And he cared about people. And that's, but then being in the United States and doing that, people would turn around and like take advantage of him. And because of that, like, he felt like really, he I think that that's actually what killed him, right? I'm seeing 3333 on the timer. Okay. So it feels very much like you're in that energy of like worrying about how other people are going to receive you and how other people are going to treat you. Feels like you're worried about how other people are seeing you and are going to see you and going to treat you, going to receive you in this like new kind of realm. All right, I'll take this one. Just the one. Okay. So we've got sacrifice with the number 11 that popped out for you. As I was just talking about that. There are those worth making. There are those that will destroy you. Yeah, you're so aware that taking this path is a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. But I think that you know that one is worth taking because the sacrifice that you have been making has been your happiness and your overall well-being. So you're weighing right now that decision. Which sacrifice is the one that's worth making? Spirit, I think I know what sacrifice is worth making for you, but I'm not going to project. I'm going to ask, Spirit, what is the sacrifice that the collective needs to make for their highest good? Six of Wands, abundance. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, great victory, whatever way you look at it. You need to leave this thought behind that you have to stick with the thing that makes you the most money. Okay? Money will come, the stability will come with your okay, I have to say this. Success in your mind has meant one thing. It's meant this. It's meant this like financial stability. This very business oriented, rules oriented, like following the rules of society. That is what success, it feels like that's what success has meant for you. But it feels to me like your view of success is changing. And that money, accolades, fitting in, that kind of like material life, I think is no longer feeling fulfilling to you. I don't think it's ever really felt fulfilling to you. This new path has something to do with it's the Queen of Swords, because it says arrows, so swords. It has something to do with your strength in communication. You actually may be thinking about changing your career to something that requires you to speak with people either on a one-to-one basis, like more, you might be looking at like a counseling career. You might be looking at something that is more like a clergy type of thing, like pastor or teacher. Maybe something that requires you to give workshops or talk over the internet. But it does have something to do with communication and with talking. Five of Pentacles came out. Endurance. Okay, you've been enduring a situation that feels to you like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do this because that's what we all have to work until retirement age, and then we get our retirement fund and we're free. Like, it feels very much like you're in a moment of like self-martyrdom, where you're only doing this because you just think that that's what you need to do. It's the fear really is that if you take this leap of faith that you're not going to be able to provide for yourself. How will they provide for themselves if they take this leap of faith? Give them some encouragement, please, Spirit. so that they know how they're going to provide for themselves. They have some sort of... I love this. We've got the Hierophant with the number 5 on top, being the number of the divine, of spirit. You are being divinely led to take a very spiritual path, a path that the ancestors have called you to. This path, we have 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This path is leading you to stability, to like a good home life, feeling fulfilled. Like this is a good 4. Remember, is a good relational number. This could lead, if you are married or in a long-term committed relationship, this could actually lead to happiness in that realm. If you're not looking for a relationship, that's absolutely fine, but I'm still seeing like chosen family for you, just like a feeling of emotional wealth. Okay? You're like leaving behind what you think is financial abundance for something that feels more abundant to you because it comes with emotional wealth. And it has this richness of meaning for you because it is directly connected to your own ancestry. Now, some of you watching this may feel apprehensive about connecting with your ancestry because you're white. But there are things that you still have to share with the world. It feels like there are things that you still have to share with the world. It's like you stop yourself from sharing these things. We've got the 5 of Wands coming out. Didn't I see that before? I can't find it now. But yeah, we've got the 5 of Wands that comes out. It's like you're fighting your own. It's like you want so badly. Here's what I'm picking up on. Some people are really dealing with that like you're not wanting to center yourself anymore. You're trying to like work through the wounds of colonialism, or you're trying to be aware of your privilege. And because of this, you become overly cautious with the way that you share. It is really good to be aware of your privilege. It's really good to work on your colonial wounds. It's really good to try to work through all of those things. That's great. Admirable. But there comes a time when you can't shy away from following your path, right? Because that's part of the wound that colonialism has put into all people, is this disconnection from your spiritual purpose. I just saw 333 on the timer. Disconnection from the spiritual purpose. Disconnection from our ancestral knowledge, our ancestral ways. And you're not going to be able to recreate the ancestral ways that, if you like go back far enough, even white people have indigenous ancestors. So you're not going to be able to recreate those ways. But everyone has a remembrance of sorts. And I think that you're remembering things. And you're doing little rituals that feel good to you. And you're going like, why does this feel good? And if that hasn't happened to you yet, it's going to be happening soon. It's just like something that's inevitable for you. This is a path that is inevitable for you, and you've been fighting it for so long, and that has been something that has, I think, made you feel really miserable, honestly. And I think that the only way out of this feeling of misery is 4444 on the timer. I think that this feeling of misery is going to be resolved when you actually follow this spiritual path. Okay, so don't be afraid of that. I'm going to continue to follow through with this energy and read it and see what's going on with it over the next coming days and weeks. But if this has resonated with you, if it feels true to you, if it's spoken to you or helped you in any way, please like this video, subscribe to the page. It'll really help me to get more of these kinds of messages out. Leave me a comment letting me know how you feel about the reading, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.